At the time, he ruled out running on a national ticket in 2008, suggesting back then he lacked experience.
So why have you ruled that out, running nationally?
You know, I am a believer in knowing what you're doing when you apply for a job. And I think that if I were to seriously consider running on a national ticket, I would essentially have to start now before having served a day in the Senate. Now, there's some people who might be comfortable doing that, but I'm not one of those people.
At what point does a baby get human rights, in your view?
Well, you know, I think that whether you're looking at it from a theological perspective or a scientific perspective, answering that question with specificity, you know, is above my pay grade.
I've got two daughters, 9 years old and 6 years old. I'm going to teach them, first of all, about values and morals. But if they make a mistake, I don't want them punished with a baby.
I am pro-choice. I believe in Roe versus Wade. And
have you ever voted to limit or reduce abortions?
Well, I am in favor, for example, of limits on late-term abortions, if there is an exception for the mother's health.
What I was suggesting, you're absolutely right that John McCain has not talked about my Muslim faith, and you're absolutely right that that has not come my Christian faith.
If I convene a meeting with Muslim leaders around the world, I do so with the credibility of somebody who actually lived in a Muslim country for a number of years.
But I do have one question. So what if he was? So what if Obama was Arab or Muslim? So what if John McCain was Arab or Muslim? Would it matter? When did that become a disqualifier for higher office in our country? When did...
It goes to the question of truthfulness. In other words, did Barack Obama say one thing privately to a foreign government and then say something entirely different to the voters of Ohio and Texas? And it appears that tonight that's exactly what he did. And
Presidential candidate Barack Obama is trying to change political fashion. He gave a speech in Iowa City today, and he wasn't wearing an American flag pin. Those pins have become synonymous with politicians since 9/11. Obama says he doesn't like how the pin has come to represent patriotism in America.
I decided I won't wear that pin on my chest. Instead, I'm going to try to tell the American people what I believe will make this country great, and hopefully that will be a testimony to my patriotism.
So if somebody wants to build a coal-powered plant, they can. It's just that it will bankrupt them because they're going to be charged a huge sum for all that greenhouse gas that's being emitted.
I am not persuaded that 20,000 additional troops in Iraq is going to solve the sectarian violence there. In fact, I think it'll do the reverse. I think it takes...
The situation in Iraq has improved. Violence has been reduced substantially from the horrific sectarian killing of 2006 and 2007. Al-Qaeda in Iraq has been dealt a serious blow by our troops and Iraq's security forces.
Which passages of Scripture should guide our public policy? Or should we just stick to the Sermon on the Mount? A passage that is so radical that it's doubtful that our own Defense Department would survive its application. Folks haven't been reading their Bible.
Did you know that if you play selected portions of Barack Obama's speeches backwards, you can hear the real truth about him? Which is, of course, that he has pledged himself to Satan. It's true. Has to be. I saw it on the YouTube. All right, here's how it goes. In his acceptance speech when he won the presidential nomination, Obama repeated a phrase twice so as to be heard over the cheering.
I accept your nomination for presidency of the United States. Let me express.
Okay, hold it right there. This is the part where he pledges himself to Satan. If you play back that line, let me express, if you play it backwards, oh, it's just too dramatic. It's too dramatic. You have to hear it yourself. You will be shocked. Shocked, I say.
Let me express.
Yes, that certainly is creepy.
Are you prepared to take the oath, Senator?
I am.
I, Barack Hussein Obama, do solemnly swear.
I, Barack Hussein Obama, do solemnly swear
that I will execute the office of President to the United States faithfully.
that I will execute
faithfully the office of President of the United States.
President of the United States faithfully.
And will, to the best of my ability.
And will, to the best of my ability.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
I am a believer in knowing what you're doing.
Because the realities are is that, as a black man, Barack can get shot going to the gas station.
Let me tell you something. For the first time in my adult life, I am proud of my country because it feels like hope is finally making a comeback.
My father served in World War II, and when he came home, he got the services that he needed.
When the Messiah speaks, the youth will hear. And the Messiah is absolutely speaking. You are the instruments that God is going to use to bring about universal change.
I am a believer in knowing what you're doing.